Hi guys, it's Kyarko here, back with another speed build. This is a speed build of the home of Count Nolaugh, who is our character, who is obviously a play on Count Olaf. If you want to check out how I built him or what his character is, you can check out his character speed build that I did yesterday. Just a heads up, I am still a little bit sick, so you may hear my voice sound congested, or I may sound stuffy or like my throat's sore. It's because I am. So I am getting better though, so no worries. I'll probably be not sick after this upcoming weekend. So here I am building his house. The tone I was going for was I wanted it to look very old and kind of, what's the word? Like maybe posh, I guess, just very fancy, but at the same time kind of dilapidated, like it's kind of falling apart. Because, you know, Count Nolaugh, he is very money hungry, but he might be having some money issues. We'll see as we go along. But his house definitely is kind of not being well kept, and you'll see me do that later when I put in like all the scratch marks and the wall marks, and we'll get to that later. But here I'm just putting together the home. I put in that big door because I really wanted like a big grand door in the front to like make a huge entrance, and then there's like this little rounder area over here, and then we're gonna actually build a tower on the left side, and the tower is gonna be like a secret tower, which is like a tower. It's a place where the kids can't go. And if you've seen the movies or you read the books, you might guess what's in the top of the tower, but for now, we're just gonna kind of be very loosey-goosey and keeping our mouths shut about what could possibly be in the tower. It's like gonna be a Let's Play secret, so we'll see. But here I'm putting together, putting thorns on the wall because again, I wanted it to look very like it was overgrown, like it's not being taken care of. You saw me achieve some milestones there for like wealth because I was like playing this with the Olaf household, or the Nolaugh household present and active. But ignore that, we are gonna reset all his aspirations, stuff like that, so it's not like he suddenly achieved the wealth that his character desires. But here I am putting in the second floor and some roofing. This was a very long build. I was up pretty late last night trying to finish this, so I'm also very tired. But I have to record this now. No, I have to. Like, I always want to record. But I am feeling a little bit rushed today because I have a lot of stuff to do. I've been very, very busy this weekend. So I'm trying to get this done and out there for you guys. I'm just a little bit frazzled right now. So if my voiceover sounds a little bit all over the place, it's because I am all over the place. But yeah, anyways, I'm putting together the exterior. Obviously is still what I'm doing. And then I have these like little round roof things. I really like how I did the exterior and the interior of this build. I will say I freaking love the interior of this build. But I want to give a shout out to the exterior of this build too, because I do feel like it's pretty solid. I was going with a lot of interesting shapes here. I do an interesting thing with the roof in a second. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. Let me know what you think. Let me know if it's like accurate to what you think the house that Count Nolaugh would have. It was kind of inspired, like at least the interior. I'm not quite sure about the exterior, but the interior was definitely inspired by the production design of Count Olaf's home in the film. Just in terms of the color palette and in terms of certain choices I made. We'll talk about it later, but I did take some inspiration from the film. But yeah, we're almost done figuring out the exterior of this home. As you can see, what I did with the roof, I had like a series of very pointy roofs on top there. And I've never done that look before, but I actually quite like it. I think it looks very interesting and almost kind of intimidating. Like all these sharp spikes everywhere because all the roofs are like really pointy. It's kind of scary, isn't it? But do remember, this is Count Olaf's, or Count Nolaugh's. I'm gonna keep calling him Olaf on accident. This is his home that he shares with his cat Ursula. And I did imagine that similarly to the movie's character, and I'm sure in the books too. He is gonna have like a gaggle of his friends, like his theater buddies / like his henchmen. So his like gang of acting criminals, I guess. But I'm probably going to do a build of all his friends as a group, probably sometime next week, so you can get an idea of the characters that are going to be around and in this house constantly, that the kids are going to be around, and yeah. Here I'm figuring out the greenery. Well, I guess you could call it greenery, but it's not very green, is it? The brownery. I'm just figuring out my plants right now. I chose a lot of stuff from the vampire stuff pack, or was it a game pack? I think it was a game pack. I chose a lot of stuff from that pack just because it was very I mean, anytime I do any build that's kind of dark or creepy, I always use that pack, because there's not really any other pack that has, like, dark, creepy stuff. I put that, the lamp there on the ground, it's lying on the ground, because I thought that could add, like, a sense of dilapidation, where, like, even the street lamp's fallen over, like, that's how badly taken care of this property is. And as you can see, I did this moment earlier, but I put in a bunch of cracks and scratches on the wall, and just now, in the back, I actually did put a little, what is indicated to be like a grave that they dug, like a place where they buried a dead body. I'm not trying to specifically say, that's not really part of the story, like that's not some secret, like, oh, they killed this person a long time. It's just like a fun little touch in the back, like they're people who killed, they're murderers, they're criminals, they buried someone in their backyard. But yeah, we're not gonna get too much into the details of that because I don't want to spoil anything. But we're just doing the front yard, I guess you could call it. It's not really a yard, is it? It's just kind of like an entryway. But yeah, we're almost done with this. I want to move inside because I want to show you guys what I did. Oh, but here I'm putting in a lot of, like, what are these called? Weeds, I guess? Or like overgrown roots and stuff. Because again, I wanted that very strong, like, overgrown feel. Are we moving inside? Yes, finally. Okay, now we're inside. It's gonna take me a few minutes to, like, set up all my walls because I actually had a lot of ideas about how I wanted this home to be laid out. So you're gonna see me kind of spend some time figuring out the layout of this home. So this area over here is going to be basically like the theater space, which is an area where Count Nolaugh and his friends will, you know, act together and put on little plays and be dramatic and plot their evil plots, and do scenes from Shakespeare and stuff like that. So this is kind of set up like a little theater. You can see there's like a little center platform which acts as a little bit of a stage, and then behind that stage you can see you can go back through these archways into a back room. That's gonna just be like the backstage area, right? Because every time you have like a little theater space, you need a backstage area. So that backstage area is where there's gonna be like, or where they keep their costumes and they do makeup, and maybe they also do like nefarious criminal plannings back there. But I didn't want to use any real, like, by real I mean like gameplay staircases because it just wasn't fitting the vibe, so I ended up using this one, which is a custom content decor staircase, which perfectly fits exactly what I was going for. The only downside of it is it doesn't work in terms of just like gameplay, and since this is a home that we're gonna be using for gameplay, I might have to change the staircase like later on. I don't want to though because it's so pretty. I might just like teleport my Sims upstairs anytime I need them upstairs because I really like the staircase. Isn't it so beautiful? It kind of comes up on the second floor a little bit weird, but we're going to ignore that for the sake of aesthetic. But I chose this wood floorboard, which is like exactly the color I wanted. It's like a really interesting blue, green, brown. It's really cool. I really like this floorboard. But here I'm setting up my walls on the second floor. So on the second floor, there's going to be Count Nolough's bedroom, 2 bathrooms, and the kids' little room, which is more like just kind of a side room that they were shoved into. But yeah, here I'm putting in his big door, and then we're going to put in, let's see, more walls. Lots of walls. We're really walling it up today. Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to explain exactly the layout of this, but we'll talk about it as I'm putting furniture in because it'll be more clear then. Putting in my wallpaper now. I had to fix the roof here because I forgot that there was a glass roof here and that like the walls I set up were totally purposeless. So instead I actually put in a center roof here that's not glass just to cover up like the top of the walls that I had in that room. And then we're gonna put in more wallpaper. I really like this wallpaper. It's a recolor that someone did of the wallpapers from the Paranormal Stuff pack. And I love a lot of stuff from that pack, but I really need a lot of recolors of stuff from that pack. So I'm very happy that I got this recolor of these wallpapers because they're absolutely stunning and I just love them. And then I chose like an interesting color combo. Like, I did a lot of interesting things with color in this build, and I want to know what you guys think of it. But yeah, we'll talk about that later. Right now, I'm setting up the main entryway. This is where, like the dining room, basically. So this is where Count Nolaugh will have like his grand feast with his criminal buddies / his acting buddies. And I really liked all the mismatched chairs because I thought it gave a sense of disorganization and you know, like they just kind of throw things together. And like I said before, they're having money troubles, right? Like that's gonna be a driving thing, is that there's money troubles for Count Nolaugh and his gaggle of thieves and criminals. So in the movies, they make a point of that where they don't really have any food in the kitchen and they don't have like stuff to cook, so when the kids have to like make food for them, they just like throw together all the pasta that they find in the drawers. So I kind of like that idea of like a feast being thrown together. So what I do is I actually set up like this table to have like a bunch of glassware and plates and bowls and knives and forks and everything you would need to have a feast. I just kind of threw it on there like in all sorts of mismatched ways, because I really like the disorganization of the look. And I just really liked, I don't know, I just really liked using mismatched things in this build. Like obviously I like using the mismatched chairs. I use a lot of like overlaid mismatched carpets, and I just really liked all the mismatched dishware and just like forks and knives and glassware just being thrown around. I just liked the chaos and the messiness and the drama of it all, I guess. So that was just kind of what I was going for, and it turns out so great. I love how this table looks in the end. I feel like it really defines the space and like what, you know, what these characters are and how they're like. But yeah, and I really like this very long table. This is my longest dining table, and I don't really ever use it because like I never have the space to use it, but I love how long it is. It's so beautiful. Obviously that chair in the middle there, the pointiest, tallest one with the yellow back, that's gonna be Count Nolaugh's chair because he's, you know, the leader, he's the man in power, and he probably is like, that's my chair, like get it, like he's probably very assertive about that kind of thing. So that's his chair in the center there. And in this corner here, we're gonna set up a side table and some decor, and then on the opposite corner, we're gonna set up Ursula's cat bed, because I kind of forgot like halfway through that there was a cat in this build, so I started adding some cat stuff later on. But this is Ursula's cat bed. She's set up in the corner here on a table so she can like watch everything going on, and then when you walk into the house through the entryway, like she's like kind of like a guard cat, I guess, where she's like watching you and she's all sinister and creepy. I love Ursula. I love the color of her fur and how creepy she looks. She's so cool. I love her. This little corner here is in the corner where someone will sit. It's like a reading corner, but I also put a bat here, so it's like where someone will sit but also like kind of guard the place. But here come all the mismatched carpets. I really like how I overlaid them. I feel like it just, again, it gives sense to the chaos and the randomness and the you know, I just feel like it adds to the drama of the space. I don't know, I really like it. I hope you guys like this too. This is, it's an interesting build. I haven't really done like this particular tone of build before, where it's, I don't know. I just don't know. Let me know what you think. I really like it though. I really do like it. But here I'm setting up the kitchen, which is kind of, it's in a weird place in the home, but I didn't really have another choice. It's kind of, it's in between the dining room and the theater space / living room. So what I did is on the archways in the dining room and in the theater room, there's like huge curtains over the archways, so theoretically they could be closed to like block off the kitchen, which is what I would imagine would happen if the kids were in here like being forced to cook for them. They would just close the curtains so they didn't have to like see the kids, like close the curtains, I don't want to see them, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's kind of weird that you have to like walk through the kitchen to get to the theater space, but again, I didn't have another choice, but I do think it works out pretty well, actually. But here I am just putting in some stuff, some decorations. You know, honestly, I didn't really think about this at the time because I was really caught in the aesthetic of it all. I don't know how much of this is actually functional, which might be a problem because, you know, obviously we're using this for a Let's Play series, so, like, I don't know if they can actually cook in that kitchen. I don't even think I put a fridge in there. Man, I'm probably gonna have to change a lot of this to work, but this is my, like, core original idea, like, in the sense that it's the first idea that I had for this. So this is what I want to do, and if all of this was functional, I would totally leave it this way, but I probably am gonna have to change it. But like I said, this is our little theater space, so I'm setting up the stage here. That skull is, like, the skull that you hold, like, when you do, like, Shakespeare. I don't know which monologue it is that you're supposed to hold the skull. Someone tell me. I know that one of you knows. Let me know what is the monologue for the Shakespeare skull. And I thought that maybe it would be funny if that skull, well, not funny, but like dark, if that skull was like a skull of a person that they killed or murdered. Yeah, that's not funny. That's super dark. But I like that idea. I feel like it plays really much into the evilness, but also the dramatics of this evil acting troupe. But obviously there are little seating areas on the side for the other actors to sit down and watch and give notes and, you know, talk and scheme and stuff like that. And then also the same thing on the opposite side with some more chairs. I love the mirrors I chose to put on the back of the stage. I feel like they're so beautiful, and I love like the dirtiness to them, I guess. Like in the cracks and the crevices, it feels like they're very old and worn down, and I really like that look, especially for this build. Really fits. But as you can see, there's like martini glasses everywhere. I mean, I would have swapped it out for wine glasses because I feel like that'd be more accurate to the tone, but I didn't have wine glasses, so instead they're all drinking martinis, I guess. But as you can see, there's like some papers on the table. I figured maybe those are like play notes or scripts or evil plans or something like that. I figured that they have chairs for an audience, but like they're always empty. Like they never have an audience because no one ever comes to their plays. So these are their empty audience chairs. Gonna put some paintings on the wall. I put on this one, which has like a guy holding a skull, and this one with a rose, so I thought those were pretty theatrical. And now we're gonna do our little backstage area. So this is, you know, the table where they're, you know, talk about their scripts and their plays, and at the same time also like scheme. I said this a lot, but this is the troupe that equally is as interested in acting as they are in criminality, which is a very interesting dynamic. I don't know. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with this one. So back here in the corner, this is the like little makeup place where you put on your makeup for theater. I didn't really have a lot of makeup custom content, unfortunately, so I just put like a bowl with a sponge and like some random brushes. So it looks a little weird, but that's like the place where they would like do their theater makeup. I put that little creepy painting of the boy on the wall. I know you guys know that painting. It's Base Game, everyone knows that painting. It's really creepy. I don't know why, just like the way the boy's face look really freaks me out. But I figure maybe that's like a portrait of the Count when he was a boy, which is perfect because it's a really creepy dude. But now we are upstairs. This is going to be the room where the Kingsleys are shoved. You can see it's conveniently placed next to the tower. And part of the reason for that is I imagine, because the tower is a place where the kids are not allowed to go, so they're never going to be entering the tower. Anytime soon, at least. And you can see, I kind of figured, I had this idea that maybe in the tower where, you know, the criminals and Count Nolaugh can be and go, they can actually like hear through the walls, or maybe like see through a crack in the wall or something, like into this room, like from the tower, so they can like spy on the kids. Which is creepier now that I've said it out loud, but that was what I imagined, was that it's a way for them to like keep tabs on them, make sure they're not like plotting anything or stuff like that. So they're being spied on. But oh man, we went through that room really quick. That room is pretty empty except for like the beds and the little tent I set up, because I imagine like it was like an old room that they never used for anything. They just kind of shoved the kids in there. I imagine it's very drafty and cold. But you can see I set up that little tent in there that looks kind of like a rug, because I imagine they made a little tent for themselves out of the rug where they could like be inside and kind of find their own little world, which is what happens in the movies, right? Like they create a tent in the Count Olaf's home. And so yeah, I was going for the same thing. I directly copied that, no shame. This is the bathroom that Count Nolaugh uses. The bathroom the kids will use, I already did. It's directly connected to their room. Went down really quick to put in some cat food bowls, and then I put a litter box in Count Nolaugh's bathroom so that the cat is taken care of. Gonna put on these big red curtains, which I think are so lovely. This house looks a little bit vampiric, and I know that's because I'm using so much stuff from the vampire pack. But it works. I don't know, I really like this house. I feel like it's so cool. So now we're in Count Nolaugh's bedroom. His bedroom's kind of interesting. It's split up into two sections. So there's like a back room where his bed is, and then there's like the front area. And they're just connected by like an archway. Here I'm putting in a rug. His bedroom is not my favorite part of this house. I think it works and I do like it, but my favorite part of the house is probably the dining room, just because I love the long table with like all the messy silverware and stuff, and I also really like the theater space. But this is still pretty cool too. I really do like how these rooms end up. So the only typewriter in the house is in Count Nolaugh's room, which may lead to some some sneakery by Cordelia as she tries to write on the typewriter, because like I said before, her goal and aspiration is to be a writer like her father, so she would obviously be very, very driven to try and sneak and get some time on this typewriter. Just finishing up his room here, and then we're gonna quickly do the tower. The tower is pretty much empty. There's the only thing on the first floor is a rocking chair. The second floor, there's nothing there except for like a big crack on the wall where they can listen through to the kids' room. And then on the top floor, okay, I'm gonna build something here that's gonna be kind of confusing, okay? It looks really weird. As you can see, it's like this little sun on a thing. You know, you'll see more of it in the screenshots. It looks strange, I know, don't question it. It's gonna be part of the storyline. But here are the screenshots of the home. I hope you guys enjoyed this build, and I hope you're excited about the next episode of the Let's Play. I definitely am, especially since this home is so freaking cool. That being said, I probably might have to change some things around just because of the playability. I have no idea if I can play this home or not, because I don't know. We'll have to see. But let me know what you think of this house. Let me know if you have any like predictions or any suggestions for where the story is heading. I take a lot of inspiration from the film, but I don't want to copy it exactly, so I'm always open to new ideas, new concepts. But yeah, check out the Discord. It will be linked down below. I'm currently running a giveaway for the new Dream Home Decorator pack. And I want you guys to be able to have that pack if that's something that you want. So please check out the giveaway, either by just clicking the link below to go to the Discord, or check out the separate video that I did that will be linked at the end of this video. Anyways, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.